Hello everyone. Today my system programming topic is about absolute loader. We're gonna see and discuss about absolute loader, its functions and designs and flowchart and etc. So first we're gonna see the introduction part of absolute loader. So the introduction is the absolute loader is a kind of loader in which a reallocated object files are created. Loader accepts these files and places them at a specific location in the memory. So when the programmer is used to store the certain data, it the programmer defines to the assembler. Assembler tells the loader to load the data in specified files specified by the programmer or assembler. So next is this type of loader is called absolute loader because no reallocation information is needed, rather it is obtained from the programmer or assembler. Because in this absolute loader we don't used to define a reallocation information, because the programmer or assembler predefined the address uh, to be stored, so it does not need a reallocation. The absolute address to be loaded previously, the thing is the programmer should know where the exact data is to be stored, and it address it is the programmer must know the exact address to be stored in the memory location. So third is the starting address of every module is known to the programmer. This corresponding starting address is stored in the object file. Then the task of loader becomes very simple. That is so simple because the executable form of the machine instruction at the location mentioned in the object file. So as I told earlier, the programmer must know the address of the absolute loader which is stored, and this corresponding address is stored in object file. Then the task of the loader becomes very simple. The loader comes to know where the data has to be stored. According to that, the loader will place the uh, address memory in a specified address uh, is defined by the programmer or assembler. Next is absolute loader example. So we're gonna see the program of the absolute loader, where it defines the main programs. In that we gonna define a start. So where it is a start of the program, we define the start as 100, and BLR is nothing but so BLR is nothing but it is a branch and link storage, where you can store a 2:1 using where using is where you can use the start of the program where it has to stored. DC is a uh, distant constant. You can store the exact address, and it is an sqrt subroutine, so where the subroutine has to be stored, and we're gonna see the how it design of an absolute loader. So in this diagram you can see the absolute loader. It contains from main and sqrt. So it is already specified by a programmer or assembler that the main is starts from 100 to 247. Till that we can specify a memory location. So if it is started to extend like to 300, we need to change the address. So likewise sqrt, it is also from 400 to 477. Till that we can specify the memory locations, or we can specify the data. So you can see the object desk, and from object desk first the assembler moves the data to the object desk. So where the memory is first stored on object desk, then the loader the loader is checks the object desk, and it is placed according to the address of the memory locations given by the programmer or assembler. So this is what is actually says. So next is next topic is about design of an absolute loader. So within an absolute loading scheme, the programmer and the assembler perform the task of allocation, reallocation, and linking. Therefore, it is only necessary for the loaders to read cards of object disk and move the text on the cards into the absolute location specified by the assembler. There are two types of information that the object disk must communicate from the assembler to loader. First, it must convey the machine instruction that the assembler has created along with the assigned core location. Second, it must convey the entry point of the program, which is where to transfer the control, where all the instructions are loaded. Assuming this information is transmitted on cards and possible format is as shown below. So in the design of the absolute loader, first the programmer is specified the memory locations. The assembler is converts the text into a machine level language and it stores into the object disk, and then the object disk, the loader checks the object disk. It is stored in the cards format, so that is gonna be seen in the next further slides. According to that, it gonna place it. So loader is used to load the data according to the corresponding to the memory location provided by the programmer or assembler. So first, there are two types of information on object disk. So there are two information of the object disk. First is it must convey the machine instruction that the assembler has associated core location. First, it must convey the machine instruction where the core location is located. Second is it must convey the entry point of the program. So it has two types of information. One is the machine instructions and second is entry point of the program. So the start point of the program is it should communicate to the loader. So this is what the object disk communicates. Next is card formats of an absolute loader. So there are two types of cards. One is text cards and another is transfer cards. So in text card, we're gonna see what are the information the card contains and what function it does. So you can see in the above diagram where card column 1, card type is equal to 0. For text card, if the card type is equal to 0, then it is for text card. So when the card type is 0, it's gonna identify that the text card identifier is used. So next is 2. 2 is second is count of number of bytes. 1 bytes column or information on cards. So it's gonna count the number of bytes, how much bytes it contains in the cards. So it's gonna mention how much bytes have occupied in the cards. So when 3 to 5, in 3 to 5 address at which the data card is to be put. So in this 3 to 5, the address has to be placed on cards where the address has to be stored. So next is 6 to 7 is empty, so it is blank. So if there is any validity checking, so you're gonna use the card 6 and 7. If it is not required, then it is empty, so no need to fill anything. So next is 8 to 72 where the instruction and data to be loaded. So the data is assembled by the absolute loader by the assembler. It is stored in the 8 to 72 where it is actually stores the instructions and cards to be loaded. So in this exact location, the instruction and data is to be loaded, where in 73 to 80 card sequence number, it gonna loads the card sequence number. The second card are transfer cards for entry point of the program. So card column 1, so where if you see the card type is 1, it is a transfer card identifier. You can identify it as a transfer card. So card type 0 for text card type 1 is for transfer card. So you're gonna identify in binary numbers. So 2 count is 0, so it is a blank number, we haven't given any number to it, so count 0. If it is contain number of bytes like 4 bytes, 6 bytes, it's going to be specified in the particular location. So whereas in 3 and 5, address of the entry point, the address of the entry point is nothing but the entrance of the program. The address to be specified of the program in a particular location has to be put on. So 6 and 72, where in transfer cards it is a bit different, where the empty cards is from 60 to 72. If there is no any information, then it is obviously it will be empty. So next is 72, 73 to 80, then it is same as text card, like card sequence number. This is the flowchart of absolute loader, where actually data flows from the absolute loader. First, we have to initialize the loader and read a record. So it's gonna read a record from the object desk. So from the object desk, you're gonna read the record. What kind of data and information are stored. Next is card type. It is a, so by saying that you can take as a decision making. So type 0 is for text card and type 1 is for transfer the control to entry point. So it goes to the type 0. If it goes to type 0, it is a text card. Type 1 is for transfer card. If it is type 0, move binary image at specified in the record. If type 1, transfer the control to the entry point. Now we're going to see about the advantages of absolute loader. So in absolute loader, it is simple to implement. So it is simple to execute. So next is this scheme allows multiple programs or the source programs written in different languages. If there are multiple programs written in different languages, then the respective language assembler will convert it to the language and object file can be prepared with all the add resolution. So this scheme provides multiple languages to be written in different languages. If there is any multiple programs are written, then the assembler will try to convert it to the specified language, and then it is saved into the object file. Next is the task of the loader becomes simpler as it simply obeys the instruction regarding where to place the object to a main memory. So loader work is to load the information or data to a specified address given by the assembler or programmer. The process of execution is efficient. Next is disadvantages of absolute loader. So in this scheme, it's the programmer's duties to adjust all the inter-segment addresses and manually to the linking activity. For that, it is necessary for the programmer to know the memory management. So disadvantages are, it is very difficult to manage the memory management because the programmer must understand the concept and should know the exact address where the data or information is to be stored at. So you should keep on track of the memory management. If it is cross the limit, you even want to change the entire memory management. So this is what disadvantages of absolute loader. Next is, if at all any modification is done at some segment, the starting address of the immediate next segments may get changed. The programmer must have to take care of the issue as he or she needs to update the corresponding starting address on any modification of the source. So for example, if there's any modifications or corrections to be done in this particular source code, then the programmer, if the source code extended the addresses, then the programmer must get to know the extension limit and you have to change the memory specified in the object desk. So or else it gonna lead into the overloading. So it gonna lead overload of mixture of main program and subroutine program. So he or she needs to be very careful when you're gonna assign an absolute loader. So this is all about the absolute loader. Yeah, that's it about the absolute loader. Thank you.